Hello and welcome to Stanhope Model Railway. I'm Mark. Today's video is just going to be about some scenic work that I've recently finished off on the layout and a new piece I've been working on, and I'll also show you another couple of wagons which I've acquired recently. So yes, the wagon fetish still hasn't ended yet. But I thought I'd show you them as well. So you're going to have to excuse this video because a lot of it, unfortunately, is going to be of me talking and waffling a lot. So please excuse that. But hopefully you'll still enjoy it anyway and get some info. But before I show you what I've been up to, I just want to start off by thanking 2 subscribers to my channel. One is a very good friend, and the other one obviously I'm getting to know, but not personally, but got to know them a little bit as well. They've both designed a couple of different logos for the channel. You probably would have seen them. Both of them, I've tried them both out for short periods on both the channel as me logo for my channel, and as a logo picture that is, and on my Facebook page for the channel as well. So those 2 people are Alan at Buckland Junction, and as you know, me and Alan are good friends, so thank you for that, Alan. And also thank you very much to Simon SJ Dusty Pup. He's worked on the other logo, so that's the 2 logos, and he's worked on that one as well. But quite hard, and they've gone for it a couple of times. He messaged me a lot. We've gone through them a bit. So you'll now see them being used on the channel. Well, I'm going to use Simon's one as my main one, so it's no disrespect to you, Al, but I will use your one as well. But Simon's one will be the main one logo for the channel across my media, because that's my slight preference, and that was what I was thinking of originally. So yeah, look out for that. You should see that in this video, and you'll see it on my media, and could also be used on items of clothing in the future. So I don't go to many exhibitions, but any I can get to, you should see at some point. Hopefully, I've got some spare money, me wearing either a t-shirt or a hoodie or fleece with the logos on. So I'll probably have Simon's one on the front of that, and Alan's one on the back, because Alan's one on the back of the seat. And also, while we're talking about the logos, I'd like to thank another one of my subscribers. That's Rigsy, and Rigsy's channel is, sorry, I'm reading this from the tablet because it's a long name. Go from the station, 00 gauge, ELR junction. That's the name of Rigsy's channel. Sorry, it's a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, I'd like to thank Rigsy as well, because he replied to one of my community posts about when I was originally talking about the logos, and he offered to design a QR code for them. So I sent both logos over to Rigsy, and he went away and designed 2 different QR code logos for me. So that's basically a QR code which is direct linked from my channel for both logos. So I'll probably use them, say, on the back of any clothing I wear, so that people can, rather than typing in the search if they want to, or don't want to ask me, or whatever, they can just use a QR code reader on whatever device you use, mobile, tablet, whatever device, and scan the QR code, and it'll get a direct link to my channel there, and hopefully I'll get some subscribers that way. So yeah, I'd just like to thank Simon, Alan and Riggsy for all their work and helping me logos. Really much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's enough for in this bit, and we'll crack on with the video. Right, so as you can see, my wagon fetish still hasn't ended, and I've acquired yet another 2 wagons for the layout. The model on the left is made by Dapol, but it was actually commissioned by Carriage and Wagon Models. It's a limited edition wagon. Quite a low number. This I can't remember. I'll show you when I unbox it. Obviously, it's what's that one? A plank wagon. It's got a coal load in it already. That's a fake plastic coal load, so I may try and see if I can get that out. I'm not sure if it comes out. I know there's a screw on the bottom. Whether that'll release that or not, I don't know. I've tried to get it out from the top with a small flat screwdriver, but I can't. But yeah, it's actually lightly weathered as well, so it's something a bit different. And it's in wing and collar livery. And obviously the one on the right is another Rapido 2-plank ballast wagon, or let's see it from this South Eastern Chatham Railway. As you know, I've already got one of these, which I've shown you before. It's the one what's based at the Bluebell, because that is actually the one at the Bluebell was the only one in existence, and that was actually rebuilt using a spare underframe from the common underframes that they use with those and the 5 and 7 plank open wagons, and they also used it on their covered van as well, which I recently purchased. So it's all the same chassis. So Bluebell had drawings of that, and they had a spare chassis, so they rebuilt them. The only difference with this one, sorry, excuse me, is the lettering is in a slightly different place on it. I don't know why the Bluebells is different, and I've got no doubt to that. The reason to doubt they're wrong, it might just be the way they've done it. So yeah, it's just a slight variation, and they did run longer trains. There is one more SECR livery one that Rapido have done. I may get that at some point. I may not. I'm trying to hold off for now, because I know at some point, I believe it may be around March or April, that their Southern Railway 8-plank open wagons due out as well, and no doubt I'll have at least one of them, if not 2. So I'm trying to hold back. Plus the Rapido South Eastern and Chatham Railways brake vans coming out. It's the small brake van, which is different to the Bachmann Dartshall brake van. This Rapido one is a different wagon, so I've got to have some money for that as well. But obviously I won't show you the 2-plank ballast wagon. I've seen that before, but I'll come back to you in a sec, and I'll show you the Carriage and Wagon Models stroke Dapol wagon unboxed. Okay, so here we have the wagon unboxed. I've just temporarily rested the limited edition certificate what come with it against the wagon. As you can see, it's a limited edition wagon, like I said before, and this is number 16 of 51 they've produced, so it's quite a low number. The wagon itself is quite a good wagon. I'll just let you know, if you do look at Carriage and Wagon Models website, they have got one as well, if you're interested, a box van. I think again that's a Dapol. Gets space on the Southern Railway 12-ton vent van. That one is in a Folkestone Brewery livery. It's not called Folkestone Brewery, but it's a brewery that was based in Folkestone. Again, they do that in weathered or unweathered. I've left that one for now. I may or might not buy it later, and I'm trying not to buy too many wagons. But yeah, please do take a look at their website. They've got them on there if you want to have a look. And also you can search to see what other models they've done in the past. Anyway, so what we'll do, we'll take the certificate away for a minute. Just put that down there. So there you go. You can have a closer look at the wagon now. As you can see, it's been lightly weathered, which is quite nice. It's not overdone. It's mainly the rust, as you can see there, and a slight weathering on the wagon itself with a bit of dirt ingrained into the woods. Fortunately the coal load's fake, so I've either got to go over the top of that with a thin layer of real coal, or I've got to try and get it out and make a removal load, which is really my preference, but I don't know if I can get it out. I've just noticed, unfortunately, the coupling bar hook, is missing from this end, so I don't know if I've knocked that off somewhere and dropped it, can't find it, or it come off, but that's not criticism of carriage and wagon models, that could be my fault, I'm not really sure. But I'll just show you there so you can see that's weathered as well. So it's mainly the underframe what's weathered more. I'll turn you over. So yeah, as you can see there, it's mainly the underframe what's weathered more. The brake rig has been cut off of this side, but I believe some wagons that only had brakes operated on from one side only and on one side to stop them. And as you see, there's a big screw in there. Hopefully, I haven't taken that out, but hopefully if I take that out, I might be able to get this wagon, this coal load out a bit easier. And just a bit as point out as well, Wigan Colliery never actually existed. It was going to be a colliery, from what I understand, but from what I've read and understand, they only got as far as digging a 50-foot shaft for it, and then the idea got abandoned. So there was never actually a colliery there. So it's not 100% accurate of a real thing. It's a kind of what might have been, but it doesn't detract from anything from the wagon for me anyway, because it's local to where I live, or would have been local to where I live had I been around that time, and had I been down this in Kent at the time. Well, obviously it wasn't, I'm from Essex originally, but yeah, so it's local to me, so I kind of had to have it because it fits in, and I haven't been able to find another Oxford Rail Tilmerstone colliery wagon, so when I saw that I thought, well, I'll have to have that instead. I'll just so you can see it's, this is only a general tap, but you can see it's quite free running. It's a nice wagon, so it fits in well. So there you go, I'll stop waffling about this and leave that here. Right, so as you can see, I've now basically finished off the scenery area in front of the creamy stroke prairie. I think from the last video, the fencing was done, and the briar patches and wildflowers etc. are in. As you can see, there's now a tree in there. This is a Hornby Scaldale apple tree with fruit. I think it looks quite nice. I think it suits in there. If you give me a second, excuse the shaky camera work. Just come out. So just to show you, yeah, that tree is the Hornby Scale Scenic tree, and it's the R number R7213, and that's the apple tree with fruit. I think it's quite a good tree. It's a cheaper tree, but it does not too bad, and I think it fits in quite well. Let's stop trying to shake a bit. I'll just try and go back down here so you can see it in there a bit and a bit steadier. So yeah, that's got the apple tree in there. I think that looks quite nice, even not too crowded. And you can still see trains on the line. I think one tree's more than enough. If I come around to this end, as you can see, trying not to get too much shadows, I've now got a gate in there. The gate at this end is actually from the Pico range. It's comes under the flexible field fencing range, the same as the flexible field fencing I've got there, and I decided on that because I thought it'd fit in a bit better. I don't know if you're going to see this on camera. I've tried to pick out the details of the metalworks on the gate, or metal parts on the gate in black, so there and there. Obviously little spodges are supposed to be bolts. I don't know if they look quite right, but I've done it anyway. and to make it look like some sort of repair was done, or they've been painted with creosote to protect around the joints. And also, as you see at this end here of the grass area, what I've done, I've actually put some woodland, a mix of woodland scenics, fine turf earth blend down there, and the fine soil blend, and then I've gone over that with some small patches of WW Scenics static grass. So that's their 2mm spring and their 4mm patchy, to try and make it look a bit muddy in this end, or a bit more worn, as I'm probably going to put cows in here so it looks like it's all trampled over. So yeah, I think I managed to finish that off. I'll just try and show you the view from that end, or this end I should say, looking. Just use the dodgy camera work, there you go. So yeah, I think that completes that quite nicely, and all finished. So that's that. And I've also now got the gate fully installed and wired in and working. I did put the short up probably over a couple of weeks ago now, might even 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure, but yeah, if you check out my channel, you see the short on there of the gate working, but I thought I'd show you properly in the video. So basically this is all thanks to, or mainly thanks to my brother David again. Thank you very much for all your work on it, much appreciated. He's the Arduino whiz, so it's now programmed into the Arduino. David just sent me a update of the coding over, and obviously I've sent that program into the Arduino via the computer. But say it's now all wired in, so I don't know if you're going to get much light. I'll try and show you underneath. You're probably going to get much light, but yeah, you got a single pole double throw switch there, run off the 2 wires, and that. So I don't know if you can see. You're probably not going to see this because there isn't much light, but you've got the servo there for it. What David's done is cut one of the arms, what you normally get with a servo, because you can get 2 or 3 or so different arm styles. He's cut the end off one end to keep it round. I say unfortunately you can't see it because there isn't a lot of light, and I haven't got a light to shine in here, I don't think. But yeah, so that's basically the servo's been adapted. So what he's done is he's glued, it's painted in, I don't know if you can see this, excuse all this, but on the side of the gate here there's actually a brass rod, what David's glued to the side of the gate, and obviously we've painted over that to try and latch in with the gate more. That then connects down to the servo, and you see the switch, so you then go from the servo's obviously got its power into it, and if I go along you'll get, it's on a massive wire so you can't really see it properly, but yeah, you've got to see the wires from the switch there, the brown wires, and then you go into the Arduino as long as the white one, and so the power ones are connected into the power block. You can't see this, but where are we? Power block in there, so it all works. So that's roughly explained. So I'll just show it working. So I did put the short up, but I'll show you now anyway. So this is the gate opening. See, nice slow steady speed. I think that took David several goes to get the speed right, so I thank him again for all his patience with that. That's closed, and if I flick the switch again, there you go, that's the gate closing. So as you see, nice smooth action, and I say I really appreciate all your work, David, if you're watching this. Hopefully you are. It works brilliant, fits in really well, and finishes that off nicely. All I need to do now is scenic all in front of it, but that'll come later on at some point. So that's that bit. And just while we're on the subject of scenery, or previously on the subject of scenery, I've decided that I didn't quite like the what we call the shoe shape or boot shape part of the hillside, what goes onto the tunnel. So I've carved out, because I've obviously got quite a bit of the Kingspan straight Celotex insulation board, that's a training, but you know what, this insulation board, solid insulation board left. I'd have a go at cutting another one out for that replacement flat side and reshaping it. So this one's actually slightly longer than the previous one, and as you can see, today obviously this was cut a few days ago and shaped on and off when I've had time. So it's all over off. Today I've painted it. It's just some McCrane plain new acrylic paint. I actually got it from the works. It's just their acrylic paint. I think it's called from the back. It's burnt umber, so yeah, brown. So I painted that. Unfortunately, you see there's a few white spots on there where I've missed with a brush. It's hard to get the brush in there, but yeah. Anyway, I've painted it brown. It's almost virtually dry now, ready for the next stage. I'll probably cover it with a wooden Scenic's fine turf earth blend again, and then it'll be ready for static grassing. But I thought I'd try it because it looks different. It's a bit different, it's a bit longer, and it just seems to fit in more. Plus I've got a bit of cut out around here for the tunnel mower to go on. So yeah, I thought we'll do that. If you bear with me, I'll quickly go and change it over just so you can see. Right, okay, so I've put the newly designed other part of the hillside on the layout. You're going to have to excuse me because obviously this is filmed a bit later and there's a lot of sun coming through, so hopefully this isn't in too much shadow and you can see it clearer. But yeah, so there it is in place. As you can see, I've made it longer than the old boot shape one. So I'll have to cut away some of the static grass. I'll have to scrape some of this off, so it rests, make sure it rests flat there, and then retouching obviously around there. And I've still got the patch underneath the concrete plate layers had to do over there as well, but I'll do that afterwards. Once I know I'm finished with this, I'll do the touching up. But yeah, hopefully you can see that fits better in. I think it's a better shape. It's slightly different than the other one, and it goes down. It's not quite as high. I've probably took too much off the top there, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna have a little bit of variation in nature anyway. But hopefully the shape is a bit more rounded and even, probably more on that side than this side. But to me it does fit in better than the other one. There's nothing wrong with the old one, it was better than what was there before, but the Mark III version to me looks even better. So obviously this is going to be a work in progress. As you can see, I've painted it up with the bit of polished insulation board there in the track. Excuse that. Yeah, anyway, as you can see, I painted it up in the burnt umber acrylic paint. It's just acrylic paint I got from the works, so that's, oh, not that one because that's a black one. Oh dear, excuse me a minute. Yeah, so yeah, it's just been painted over that from acrylic paint. I got it from the works. It's fairly cheap. You get a nice big tub of it, and the idea is obviously to cover it over. So there's less white. There's odd little bits of white dots showing where the paint hasn't gone in, but it gives it a main colour. I will probably, like I did with the other one, cover this over with the wooden Scenic's fine blend of earth turf, just to give it an even covering all before I do the static grass. But yeah, I think it's better. I'll just try and give you a quick look that way. Hopefully the sun isn't causing too much shadows. I think it fits in more, as you can see. And what I do, I'll just put the tunnel mouth in. Obviously this tunnel mouth what I've made out of the card, this is just a template, but if I put it in there, roughly where it's going to go, ooh, if you'll stand up, excuse the light, but yeah, it should, oh dear, sorry, yeah, you're going to get a bit of shadow, sorry about this, I can't do that back for some, but yeah, the idea was to give a better shape in each side of the tunnel, there and there, so it will get a better shape. So I'll have to make another template up and recut the card for that, but hopefully you'll end up with a better tunnel mouth shape on there as well, and it'll look better. I'll try and keep it away from the sun a bit. It's hard to show you because there's too much sun in there, but yeah, so that was the idea, is doing it as well. So as well as having, because on here I cut too much of this away on the other one, but now that's more there, so it gives a bit more support for the tunnel mouth and a bit more there to make it, hopefully that'll look a bit more natural by the time I've done another template. But yeah, so I've got that, and obviously the tunnel top will go on top. I mean, this is the one I cut out, the last bit of 25mm insulation board I had. As you can see, it's not, this looks wider than the other one, like these hillside. I don't know why, it's not that much wider, it's a tiny bit wider, you're not talking a lot. Looks wider on there, but what I've done, I've brought some foam board, A2 size, so hopefully I can stick that together when I've got some more time and do some more work in, and shape that up to go on top, so it'll go right across to cover there. But I'm also thinking this gap here, obviously I've got to fill that, but I'm thinking that instead of having, like I've done here with the card and the shaper sheet on it, I'm going to try and cut, I've still got some 100mm Kingspan or insulation board left, so what I'm hoping to do when I've got some more time to finish this off, rather than have just to fill in the gap there, I'm going to make a template, paper template to the right shape to go all along to here up to that retaining wall, and I'll replace that with that. I'll cut out the 100mm because it's 100mm high, so that's 10cm, so I'll cut it out of that and it'll flow around there then to there, and it'll be one piece, and it'll be quite thin there like that. It'll be one piece, and then I brought some cheap filler from Poundland, so I might try and make it a bit kind of rocky maybe on there, not too rocky but odd bits of rock. Probably paint it the same sort of grey, maybe put some earth tones in there, but we'll see, that's at another stage. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do there to fill that, so that's a one piece there to fill that gap in there. So yeah, well, that's that, so that'll be in a future video. Alright, so I do hope you all enjoyed that video. Sorry it was a lot of waffle, but obviously it was easy to explain things talking rather than any other way. So yeah, it's a bit of a waffly video, so please excuse me for that, but I do hope you enjoyed it and gained something from it, and at least it's keeping you up to date, so you're all up to date what I've been doing. Hopefully we'll get some bit more action next video, either a running session or some more senior work done with a bit less waffle. Anyway, just like to say thank you to all my subscribers, both old and new, and welcome aboard to all the new ones. I hope you enjoy the channel and my videos. Great to have you on board. And just like to say thanks once again for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Put your comments in the video in the comment section below, and obviously if you don't subscribe, please subscribe to my video. It is free to subscribe to videos on YouTube after all. And don't forget to check out the Stanhover Model Railway Facebook page and the community tab on YouTube itself. I do try and keep both of those up to date as often as I can. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.